Please subscribe, like and share this content. It means a lot to us. Thank you in advance.
To U.S. Code Chapter 17A, Congressional Budget and Fiscal Operation. To U.S. Code Subchapter I, Congressional Budget Process. To U.S. Code Paragraph 635, Permissible Revisions of Concurrent Resolutions on the Budget. At any time after the concurrent resolution on the budget for a fiscal year has been agreed to pursuant to Section 632 of this title, and before the end of such fiscal year, the two houses may adopt a concurrent resolution on the budget which revises or reaffirms the concurrent resolution on the budget for such fiscal year most recently agreed to. To U.S. Code Paragraph 636, Provisions relating to consideration of concurrent resolutions on the budget. A. Procedure in House after report of committee. Debate 1. When a concurrent resolution on the budget has been reported by the Committee on the Budget of the House of Representatives and has been referred to the appropriate calendar of the House, it shall be in order on any day thereafter, subject to Clause 4 of Rule the 13th of the Rules of the House of Representatives, to move to proceed to the consideration of the concurrent resolution. The motion is highly privileged and is not debatable. An amendment to the motion is not in order, and it is not in order to move to reconsider the vote by which the motion is agreed to or disagreed to. 2. General debate on any concurrent resolution on the budget in the House of Representatives shall be limited to not more than 10 hours, which shall be divided equally between the majority and minority parties, plus such additional hours of debate as are consumed pursuant to paragraph 3. A motion further to limit debate is not debatable. A motion to recommit the concurrent resolution is not in order, and it is not in order to move to reconsider the vote by which the concurrent resolution is agreed to or disagreed to. 3. Following the presentation of opening statements on the concurrent resolution on the budget for a fiscal year by the chairman and ranking minority member of the Committee on the Budget of the House, there shall be a period of up to 4 hours for debate on economic goals and policies. 4. Only if a concurrent resolution on the budget reported by the Committee on the Budget of the House sets forth the economic goals, as described in sections 1022A2 and 1022A(b) of Title 15, which the estimates, amounts, and levels, as described in section 632A of this title, set forth in such resolution are designed to achieve, shall it be in order to offer to such resolution an amendment relating to such goals, and such amendment shall be in order only if it also proposes to alter such estimates, amounts, and levels in germane fashion in order to be consistent with the goals proposed in such amendment. 5. Consideration of any concurrent resolution on the budget by the House of Representatives shall be in the Committee of the Whole, and the resolution shall be considered for amendment under the 5-minute rule in accordance with the applicable provisions of Rule the 18th of the Rules of the House of Representatives. After the committee rises and reports the resolution back to the House, the previous question shall be considered as ordered on the resolution and any amendments thereto to final passage without intervening motion, except that it shall be in order at any time prior to final passage, notwithstanding any other rule or provision of law, to adopt an amendment, or a series of amendments changing any figure or figures in the resolution as so reported to the extent necessary to achieve mathematical consistency. 6. Debate in the House of Representatives on the conference report on any concurrent resolution on the budget shall be limited to not more than 5 hours, which shall be divided equally between the majority and minority parties. A motion further to limit debate is not debatable. A motion to recommit the conference report is not in order, and it is not in order to move to reconsider the vote by which the conference report is agreed to or disagreed to. 7. Appeals from decisions of the chair relating to the application of the rules of the House of Representatives to the procedure relating to any concurrent resolution on the budget shall be decided without debate. B. Procedure in Senate after report of committee. Debate. Amendments. 1. Debate in the Senate on any concurrent resolution on the budget, and all amendments thereto and debatable motions and appeals in connection therewith, shall be limited to not more than 50 hours, except that with respect to any concurrent resolution referred to in section 635 of this title all such debate shall be limited to not more than 15 hours. The time shall be equally divided between, and controlled by, the majority leader and the minority leader or their designees. 2. Debate in the Senate on any amendment to a concurrent resolution on the budget shall be limited to 2 hours, to be it equally divided between, and controlled by, the mover and the manager of the concurrent resolution, and debate on any amendment to an amendment, debatable motion, or appeal shall be limited to 1 hour, to be it equally divided between, and controlled by, the mover and the manager of the concurrent resolution, except that in the event the manager of the concurrent resolution is in favor of any such amendment, motion, or appeal, the time in opposition thereto shall be controlled by the minority leader or his designee. No amendment that is not germane to the provisions of such concurrent resolution shall be received. Such leaders, or either of them, may, from the time under their control on the passage of the concurrent resolution, allot additional time to any senator during the consideration of any amendment, debatable motion, or appeal. 3. Following the presentation of opening statements on the concurrent resolution on the budget for a fiscal year by the chairman and ranking minority member of the Committee on the Budget of the Senate, there shall be a period of up to 4 hours for debate on economic goals and policies. 4. Subject to the other limitations of this Act, only if a concurrent resolution on the budget reported by the Committee on the Budget of the Senate sets forth the economic goals, as described in sections 1022A2 and 1022A(b) of Title 15, which the estimates, amounts, and levels, as described in section 632A of this title, set forth in such resolution are designed to achieve, shall it be in order to offer to such resolution an amendment relating to such goals, and such amendment shall be in order only if it also proposes to alter such estimates, amounts, and levels in germane fashion in order to be consistent with the goals proposed in such amendment. 5. A motion to further limit debate is not debatable. A motion to recommit, except a motion to recommit with instructions to report back within a specified number of days, not to exceed 3, not counting any day on which the Senate is not in session, is not in order. Debate on any such motion to recommit shall be limited to 1 hour, to be equally divided between, and controlled by, the mover and the manager of the concurrent resolution. 6. Notwithstanding any other rule, an amendment or series of amendments to a concurrent resolution on the budget proposed in the Senate shall always be in order if such amendment or series of amendments proposes to change any figure or figures then contained in such concurrent resolution so as to make such concurrent resolution mathematically consistent or so as to maintain such consistency. C. Action on conference reports in Senate. 1. A motion to proceed to the consideration of the conference report on any concurrent resolution on the budget or reconciliation bill or resolution may be made even though a previous motion to the same effect has been disagreed to. 2. During the consideration in the Senate of the conference report or message between houses on any concurrent resolution on the budget, and all amendments in disagreement, and all amendments thereto, and debatable motions and appeals in connection therewith, debate shall be limited to 10 hours, to be equally divided between, and controlled by, the majority leader and minority leader or their designees. Debate on any debatable motion or appeal related to the conference report or message between houses shall be limited to 1 hour, to be equally divided between, and controlled by, the mover and the manager of the conference report or message between houses. 3. Should the conference report be defeated, debate on any request for a new conference and the appointment of conferees shall be limited to 1 hour, to be equally divided between, and controlled by, the manager of the conference report and the minority leader or his designee, and should any motion be made to instruct the conferees before the conferees are named, debate on such motion shall be limited to 1/2 hour, to be equally divided between, and controlled by, the mover and the manager of the conference report. Debate on any amendment to any such instructions shall be limited to 20 minutes, to be equally divided between and controlled by the mover and the manager of the conference report. In all cases when the manager of the conference report is in favor of any motion, appeal, or amendment, the time in opposition shall be under the control of the minority leader or his designee. 4. In any case in which there are amendments in disagreement, time on each amendment shall be limited to 30 minutes, to be equally divided between, and controlled by, the manager of the conference report and the minority leader or his designee. No amendment that is not germane to the provisions of such amendments shall be received. D. Concurrent resolution must be consistent in Senate. It shall not be in order in the Senate to vote on the question of agreeing to 1. A concurrent resolution on the budget unless the figures then contained in such resolution are mathematically consistent, or 2. A conference report on a concurrent resolution on the budget unless the figures contained in such resolution, as recommended in such conference report, are mathematically consistent. 2 U.S. Code Paragraph 637, legislation dealing with congressional budget must be handled by budget committees. A. In the Senate, no bill, resolution, amendment, motion, or conference report, dealing with any matter which is within the jurisdiction of the Committee on the Budget shall be considered unless it is a bill or resolution which has been reported by the Committee on the Budget, or from the consideration of which such committee has been discharged, or unless it is an amendment to such a bill or resolution. B. In the House of Representatives and the House of Representatives, no bill or joint resolution, or amendment thereto, or conference report thereon, dealing with any matter which is within the jurisdiction of the Committee on the Budget shall be considered unless it is a bill or joint resolution which has been reported by the Committee on the Budget, or from the consideration of which such committee has been discharged, or unless it is an amendment to such a bill or joint resolution. 2 U.S. Code Paragraph 638, House Committee action on all appropriation bills to be completed by June 10th. On or before June 10th of each year, the Committee on Appropriations of the House of Representatives shall report annual appropriation bills providing new budget authority under the jurisdiction of all of its subcommittees for the fiscal year which begins on October 1st of that year. 2 U.S. Code Paragraph 639, Reports, Summaries, and Projections of Congressional Budget Actions. A. Legislation providing new budget authority or providing increase or decrease in revenues or tax expenditures. 1. Whenever a committee of either house reports to its house a bill or joint resolution, or committee amendment thereto, providing new budget authority, other than continuing appropriations or providing an increase or decrease in revenues or tax expenditures for a fiscal year, or fiscal years, the report accompanying that bill or joint resolution shall contain a statement, or the committee shall make available such a statement in the case of an approved committee amendment which is not reported to its house, prepared after consultation with the Director of the Congressional Budget Office. A. Comparing the levels in such measure to the appropriate allocations in the report submitted under Section 633B of this title for the most recently agreed to concurrent resolution on the budget for such fiscal year, or fiscal years. B. Containing a projection by the Congressional Budget Office of how such measure will affect the levels of such budget authority, budget outlays, revenues, or tax expenditures under existing law for such fiscal year, or fiscal years, and each of the 4 ensuing fiscal years, if timely submitted before such report is filed. And C. Containing an estimate by the Congressional Budget Office of the level of new budget authority for assistance to state and local governments provided by such measure, if timely submitted before such report is filed. 2. Whenever a conference report is filed in either house and such conference report or any amendment reported in disagreement or any amendment contained in the joint statement of managers to be proposed by the conferees in the case of technical disagreement on such bill or joint resolution provides new budget authority, other than continuing appropriations or provides an increase or decrease in revenues for a fiscal year, or fiscal years, the statement of managers accompanying such conference report shall contain the information described in paragraph 1, if available on a timely basis. If such information is not available when the conference report is filed, the committee shall make such information available to members as soon as practicable prior to the consideration of such conference report. 3. CBO paygo estimates. A. The chairs of the committees on the budget of the House and Senate, as applicable, shall request from the Director of the Congressional Budget Office an estimate of the budgetary effects of paygo legislation. B. Estimates shall be prepared using baseline estimates applied by the Congressional Budget Office, consistent with Section 907 of this title. C. The Director shall not count timing shifts, as that term is defined at Section 932(8) of this title, in estimates of the budgetary effects of paygo legislation. B. Up-to-date tabulations of congressional budget action. 1. The Director of the Congressional Budget Office shall issue to the committees of the House of Representatives and the Senate reports on at least a monthly basis detailing and tabulating the progress of congressional action on bills and joint resolutions providing new budget authority or providing an increase or decrease in revenues or tax expenditures for each fiscal year covered by a concurrent resolution on the budget. Such reports shall include but are not limited to an up-to-date tabulation comparing the appropriate aggregate and functional levels, including outlays, included in the most recently adopted concurrent resolution on the budget with the levels provided in bills and joint resolutions reported by committees or adopted by either House or by the Congress, and with the levels provided by law for the fiscal year preceding the first fiscal year covered by the appropriate concurrent resolution. 2. The committee on the budget of each House shall make available to members of its House summary budget scorekeeping reports. Such reports, A. shall be made available on at least a monthly basis, but in any case frequently enough to provide members of each House an accurate representation of the current status of congressional consideration of the budget. B. shall include, but are not limited to, summaries of tabulations provided under subsection B1, and C. shall be based on information provided under subsection B1 without substantive revision. The chairman of the Committee on the Budget of the House of Representatives shall submit such reports to the Speaker. C. 5-year projection of congressional budget action as soon as practicable after the beginning of each fiscal year. The Director of the Congressional Budget Office shall issue a report projecting, for the period of 5 fiscal years beginning with such fiscal year, 1. Total new budget authority and total budget outlays for each fiscal year in such period, 2. Revenues to be received and the major sources thereof, and the surplus or deficit, if any, for each fiscal year in such period, 3. Tax expenditures for each fiscal year in such period, and 4. Entitlement authority for each fiscal year in such period. D. Scorekeeping guidelines estimates under this section shall be provided in accordance with the scorekeeping guidelines determined under Section 902D5 of this title.